The generator aisle is full of machines that look like backup power and fail when the load gets real. Today we are ranking 10 of them with the math and the complaints the box leaves out. Hit subscribe right now. Storm season starts June 1st, and this list is getting longer every week. Number 10. Champion 201053. Champion built its name on price and availability. Walk into any hardware store in America and Champion is on the shelf. That is not an accident. That is a distribution strategy. This model sits around $400 to $450, while the build cost is closer to $80 to $100. That is a rough 4 times markup. The box says running watts in the mid-3500s, but the real problem is the carburetor system. The complaint pattern is carburetor failure between 50 and 100 hours of use. Picture this. You are 3 days into a blackout. 90 degrees outside, fridge warming up, and the machine just stops. That is what 50 hours of carburetor wear looks like in real life. This brand spent years getting onto every shelf in America. The marketing worked. That is not on you. When this carburetor goes, most independent shops will not stock the parts. So the fix becomes shipping or scrapping. Add a $200 repair call, lost food, and 3 days of no power to that $400 price tag. That is the real number. You bought shelf placement and a familiar name. The carburetor had other plans. If you already own this one, here is your checklist. Run it under load for 30 minutes every month. Drain the carb before storage. Keep fresh fuel in it. If it has not run in 6 months, test it before the storm arrives. Number 9. Champion 201176. Dual fuel. Yeah. Another Champion, and it runs into the exact same wall as the last one. Same 4 times markup, but this time they slap a dual fuel promise on it to make it feel like an upgrade. This model sits around $400 to $450, with build costs closer to $80 to $100. It runs on gasoline or propane, but the carburetor system that handles both fuels is a real failure point. The complaint trail points to carburetor failures between 50 and 100 hours, plus fuel varnish when it sits. When this carburetor goes, most independent shops will not stock the parts, so the fix becomes shipping or scrapping. Now, if you are maintaining it religiously and pulling it out regularly, that window shrinks. This verdict is for the homeowner who stores it and expects it to fire when the storm hits. You bought shelf placement and a dual fuel promise. The carburetor had other plans. If you already own this one, same checklist. Run it monthly. Drain the carb. Swap the fuel out before it varnishes. Number 8. PowerSmart PS5020. PowerSmart positioned itself as a budget entry that punches above its price. The price is around $350 to $400, and the build cost is closer to $70 to $90. That is close to a 5 times spread. Running watts is in the 1800 range. That is enough for a refrigerator alone. Add a sump pump startup load, and this machine is already past its ceiling. The failure pattern is cold. Start failure and no dealer support. When this unit will not start in cold weather and you call for help, the support chain is a returns loop, not a repair. 5 stars on Amazon means it worked once. Outage duty means it works when you have not touched it in 8 months. Those are not the same test. Now, if this is for a single small appliance on a warm day, that is different. This verdict is for anyone trusting it as home backup when the temperature drops and the load gets real. You paid entry-level money for entry-level engineering. The outage is not an entry-level problem. Number 7. Ego Power Station PST3041. Ego built its reputation on battery-powered yard tools. That reputation is doing the selling here. This is not a generator. It is a battery power station. Retail sits around $500. Build cost estimated at $100 to $120. That is a 4 to 5 times markup. The running output depends entirely on battery charge. When the battery depletes, the power stops. There is no engine. There is no fuel tank. There is no continuous runtime independent of charge state. In a multi-day outage, you need continuous power. This unit delivers whatever is stored in the battery and nothing more. Now for charging phones, laptops, and running a CPAP machine during a short outage, this is a reasonable tool. This verdict is for anyone using it as a home backup generator during a serious multi-day event. You bought a battery. A battery is not a generator. The shelf did not explain the difference. Number 6. Craftsman Open Frame 3729. Craftsman has a legacy name, but this generator sits around $450 to $500, with build cost around $90 to $110. There is no dedicated service network. When it breaks, you are left hoping a general shop can source parts. Most cannot. Now if it runs, it runs. The problem is what happens when it does not. You bought a legacy name. There is no legacy behind this generator. Hold on. Drop your generator model in the comments right now. I want to see if it made this list. Hit like if this math is making you angry. Now number 5, Powerhorse 7500i. Powerhorse is a house brand with shelf credibility. The machine retails around $700 to $800, while the build cost is closer to $130 to $150. It claims 7,500 starting watts, but running watts is 6,000. That gap matters when you build a load plan. Owners report output inconsistency under sustained load, so the clean power promise is shaky. And when we say clean power, we mean total harmonic distortion. When total harmonic distortion runs high, it degrades the circuit boards in your smart fridge, your television, your laptop. Voltage instability does not just trip a breaker, it damages things quietly over time. Now for short light use maybe. For outage planning, the headline number is not the real number. The headline number is the marketing number. The running watts is the real number. They are not the same number. Number 4. Pulsar PG12000B. Pulsar sells big surge numbers. The machine costs around $500 to $600, with build cost around $120 to $140. It runs 9,500 watts on gasoline, not 12,000. That is the number that matters for actual load. Running near the surge ceiling creates heat and overload risk under sustained use. 5 stars on Amazon means it ran fine on a calm day. It does not mean it held load through 72 hours of a real outage. If this is for cycling job site loads, fine. For outage duty, the headline watt number is buried for a reason. You bought the headline watt number. The running watts is buried in the spec table. Number 3. WEN Dual Fuel 475T. WEN is a budget brand, and this model sits around $400 to $450 with build cost around $80 to $100. Dual fuel adds extra failure points. The complaint trail points to governor wear and fuel delivery problems that show up under sustained load. Now for camping or a couple of simple loads maybe. For real outage duty, that complexity is a liability. The dual fuel promise adds complexity. The complexity becomes a liability. Number 2, GenMax GM3500 IO. GenMax is spec sheet theater. It looks modern, sounds efficient, and gives buyers the feeling they found a hidden deal. Running power is around 3,000 watts, but the real test is not the first 5 seconds. It is what happens under sustained load. If the inverter board gets unstable, when the machine has to keep working, the voltage swings, and when total harmonic distortion spikes, it cooks the circuit boards in your smart fridge and anything else plugged in. That is not a power blip. That is appliance damage. A generator that looks strong in a demo but weak in real use is a future repair bill. It sells like a bargain and owns like a question mark. A backup generator should reduce uncertainty. This one adds it. Number 1. Champion ONE 00520. Dual fuel hybrid inverter. Wait, this one is different. This is the flip. Champion has been building power equipment for over 15 years. The WEN DF475T is a mid-tier hybrid inverter built for a fridge, a window AC, and a sump pump through a real outage. Compared with the cheap dual-fuel models above, this one keeps the power cleaner and the load more stable. Running watts is 7,000. Surge watts is 8,750, 4.2-gallon tank. 10.5 hours at quarter load. 72 decibels. 3-year engine warranty. Less than 3% total harmonic distortion. That is the threshold that keeps your electronics safe. Carbon monoxide shutoff confirmed. Electric start confirmed. It beats the junk by giving you a real running watt number instead of a headline number. Best for homeowners with multiple major appliances, not for campers or CPAP users who want a smaller, quiet inverter. If you rely on critical medical devices, talk to your doctor and your electrician before trusting any portable generator setup. No sponsorships on this channel, no brand deals. Nobody paid to be on this list, the good picks or the bad ones. If you already own one of the bad picks on this list, here is what to do right now. Number 1, run it under load for 30 minutes this week. Number 2, drain the carburetor if it has been sitting more than 60 days. Number 3, check the running watts against your actual load before storm season hits. If the numbers do not match, start shopping before the shelves empty out. If you rely on critical medical devices, talk to your doctor and your electrician before trusting any portable generator setup. Here is the 3-second test. Running watts, dealer network, complaint trail. If a machine cannot pass all 3, it does not belong in your garage. Drop your generator in the comments. Model and how many hours. I want to know if it made the list. 10 brands, same playbook, headline watts, low build cost, and a warranty that is cheaper to print than to honor. If this saved you from a mistake, hit like and subscribe. The next episode shows the 7 levels of portable generators, and most buyers are stuck at level 2.